trip on National Highway 40 is always an enriching and enchanting experience. The highway connects many important parts of northeast India with the rest of the country. The highway starts from Guwahati, which is the gateway to the northeast. The ambience of the highway inside the city and its outskirts is the same as that of any other city in the country. Flanked by high-rise buildings, rising dust, and the mind-blowing noise of traffic and crowds. Its character unfolds as the National Highway 40 leaves the city limits behind. The chaos of the city is replaced by the tranquility of the hills and soothing greenery all around. As the highway gains altitude, the view becomes more panoramic and absorbing. Scenes on National Highway 40 change fast. At first, it could be well laid out fields on the slopes where farmers grow pineapples and pears apart from conventional crops. Next, it could pass through tea and rubber plantations. The National Highway 40 passes through thick natural forests several times. Here tall trees, bamboo bushes, wild bananas, and various types of climbers provide an array of color. Occasionally, wild elephants are seen crossing the highway. The natural streams traveling down the hills are quite common. They travel along the highway and keep appearing and disappearing with the turns. Several such streams have become carriers of human garbage, and the muddy water is loaded with household and agricultural waste. The National Highway 40 frequently passes through localities with distinctive patterns of beautiful houses tucked away in the slopes of the hills. Along the highway, the local people, especially women and children, sell local agricultural products. During August and September, they sell one special commodity, bamboo shoots. These shoots are sold as whole or chopped into pieces. The shoots, a local delicacy, are eaten as vegetables or pickles. From a spot at 16 kilometers before Shillong, this lake, nestled in the beautiful West Khasi Hills, appears as a visual shock at first sight. According to the local myth, two sisters who lived in heaven started for a beautiful land sheltered by the clouds, now called Meghalaya. But for reasons unknown, one of them could not reach this destination. The sister who reached Meghalaya felt lonely and sad. She cried for years, and her tears collected between the blue hills and formed this lake of sparkling green water. But whatever the locals might believe, a 72-meter high dam constructed on the river Umiam created the 10 square kilometer artificial lake southwest of the village Bada Pani. The lake was named Umiam Lake after the river. The locals prefer to call this lake Bada Pani or Big Water. On a clear day, the distant hills seemed nearby due to the play of reflection on the water. And during the flowering season, this scene is simply breathtaking. The Umiam Lake is undoubtedly one of the most beautiful lakes on earth. It is like a precious gem amongst the hills. Most of the ridges in the area are made of the Shillong group of quartzite and sandstone and have dense vegetation. Slopes beyond 900 meters grow pine forests. Pinus longifolia and Pinus khasiana are the two common species. Below 900 meters, the ridges have mixed forests of bamboo, camellia, rhododendron and bushy undergrowth. Leopards, bears, deer, wildcats and a variety of birds make the larger fauna of the area. The climate of Umiam Lake is of tropical monsoon type that enjoys 2 seasons of heavy rainfall, from May to September and from December to February, with an average annual rainfall of 2,176 millimeters. The area is coldest during January, with a low of 7.2 degrees Celsius. The hottest during August, with a high of 27.2 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity has been recorded between 63 and 84%. The boundary of the lake is irregular, and due to an uneven spread of the 980-meter contour of the lake, it is impossible to get a full view of the lake from any point. The water of the lake extends to the creeks and crevices of the surrounding hills, wandering in different directions through its labyrinths. The water level of the Umiam Lake shows a wide range of fluctuation. As per the data, the water level recorded a high of 982 meters during October 83 and a low of 962 meters in April 86. With fluctuations in the water level, islands, which are the upper part of submerged hummocks, appear or disappear. The southern flank of the lake is more regular in outline, while the northern flank is irregular due to the confluence of numerous upstream inlets which join the lake along the wide stream valleys. The river on the upstream has turned sluggish due to the formation of the lake, leading to sedimentation. During normal conditions, there is no flow of water from the outlet side of the lake. Only excess water from the reservoir is allowed to flow out when the water level in the lake rises beyond the threshold limit. Though Umiam Lake is a reservoir, it shows unmistakable characteristics of a natural lake. Natural lakes have 4 distinct zones that provide habitats for different types of organisms, and so does Umiam Lake. The littoral zone is the shore and the shallow region of the lake, beyond which rooted plants cannot grow. The water in this zone is rich in nutrients and sunlight penetrates deep into the bottom. This zone has a variety of phytoplankton-rooted plants and organisms that help in decomposing dead organic material. Animals like frogs, snakes, snails, and others are found in this zone. The other zone is the limnetic zone. This is the open water surface layer which receives sufficient sunlight to carry on photosynthesis. This zone contains phytoplankton, zooplankton, and different types of fish. Their variety and population depends on the quantity of nutrients present in the lake water. The third zone is the profundal zone, which is the deeper part of the open water, where sufficient light cannot reach to perform photosynthesis. This region has certain fish varieties that prefer to inhabit dark and cold waters. The last zone is the benthic zone, that is the bottom of the lake. This zone plays an important part in the decomposition of the dead materials and recycling of nutrients. Umiam Lake has, over the years, become a major center of tourist attraction. People from all over the northeast and the rest of the country come to Umiam Lake to enjoy its infinite beauty and serenity during holidays and festive seasons. The Meghalaya Tourism Department has developed the lake as a major water sports complex.
Awe nanga go serang, nango re go serang, nango re go serang, awe nanga go serang.
Lum Nehru Park is an added attraction to the visitors. The park is full of flower beds and different types of trees. The rich orchidarium and an aviary in the park provide additional centers of attraction to the visitors. An inquisitive visitor can learn more about the lake and its environment from these facilities. The lake is quite popular with anglers too. In fact, it is called an angler's paradise with the abundant variety of fish available in the lake. The last week of December is the time for special festivities at the Umiam Lake, coinciding with the Christmas celebrations. The whole area is lavishly decorated to suit the festive mood. A resort designed by the world-famous architect Charles Correa now provides boarding facilities to the tourists.
We have 15 rooms, all VIP rooms, and then we have attached toilets and running hot cold water for 24 hours. And we have TV in the rooms. We have got bell system in the rooms. We have room service, and we have food like continental, Indian, and Chinese. And another addition here is because whoever comes to this place, they find it very homely because of the treatment we give them.
This has given a big boost to tourism at Umiam Lake. Apart from attracting tourists, the lake has another important role, serving the region and beyond. The Umiam Badapani hydroelectric project, which operates on the discharge from the lake, is the major source of hydroelectric power for Meghalaya and Assam. It also provides irrigation facilities downstream, and a large number of people are dependent on fishing alone. As Umiam Lake provides a wide range of benefits, the importance of the lake is immense and has the potential to emerge as the most important center of tourist attraction. However, certain recent developments elsewhere have raised questions not only about the thriving tourism, but also about the healthy existence of Umiam Lake. The city of Shillong is just 16 kilometers up the National Highway 40. The once picturesque city is experiencing an unprecedented boom in its population. The lifestyle of the people in the city and its suburbs is also changing fast. A variety of modern-day non-biodegradable chemicals are regularly added in vast quantities to the increased generation of day-to-day solid and liquid waste. Several drains passing through the city carry the city's waste to join Kara and Shirpi, the two main streams. They converge downstream to form Va-Ro-So that finally meets the river Umiam. Umiam discharges its contents some 16 kilometers away in Umiam Lake. The city of Shillong faces grave problems at the present time. It has no sewage treatment facility. The conservancy services of the city are rudimentary and only limited inside the city. The sanitary facilities in the city are also highly inadequate. The system for collection, transportation and disposal of municipal solid wastes are almost non-existent, and whatever is collected is dumped at the waste disposal site. The present waste disposal site for Shillong is close to the Umiam Lake. During the rainy season, a large part of this waste finds its way to the Umiam Lake, thus endangering the ecosystem. Lakes and reservoirs are much more vulnerable to pollutants such as agricultural runoffs, municipal sewage and wastes, industrial wastes and effluents. Some wastes and toxic substances show biomagnification, which results in the gradual increase in the concentration of these substances. There can only be limited outflow of water from Umiam Lake, so the debris accumulates in the bed of the lake and remains there. The process of dilution is less effective in a lake or a reservoir because the flushing and changing of water takes 1 to 100 years, while it takes only a few days to a few weeks in rivers and streams. The situation only worsens every year, every month, every day. Another reason for the fast deterioration of the situation is that lakes and reservoirs develop thermal stratification. The upper layers of the water are warmer with a high level of dissolved oxygen. This is called epiluminion. The lower layers of water are cold and have low concentrations of oxygen and are called hypoluminion. An intermediate layer called thermocline separates these layers. The thermocline acts as a barrier and does not allow the transfer of dissolved oxygen and nutrients from the upper level of the lake to the lower level. Umiam Lake receives regular inputs of nutrients and silt from the land basin around due to natural erosion and runoffs. However, such natural flows rarely threaten the existence or health of a lake or a reservoir, as the total impact is not very serious. On the other hand, cultural eutrophication may lead to serious consequences. Cultural eutrophication is the process when the inputs of nutrients to a lake or reservoir are greatly accelerated on account of human activities in the proximity or in the catchment area. It is caused generally by sewage containing nitrates and phosphates, agricultural runoffs, and discharge of animal wastes into the water body. It may also occur due to excessive erosion of topsoil in the catchment area that brings a high concentration of nutrients with it. This becomes evident when you see the dense aquatic plants such as algae, cyanobacteria, weeds, and water hyacinths. Such water bodies are prone to becoming anoxic due to the consumption of dead plant material at the bottom of the water body. Such depletion of oxygen quite often leads to the death of fish and other animals which require oxygen to survive. If the process of eutrophication continues for long, the lower layers of the lake become anoxic and anaerobic bacteria multiply in numbers here. These bacteria do help in decomposition of the accumulating wastes and the dead organic matter. However, they also produce hydrogen sulfide and methane, which gives a foul smell to the water body and the surrounding atmosphere. In the case of smaller water bodies, this kind of situation may attract attention quite easily, while in larger water bodies, isolated pockets of eutrophication may not be easily identifiable. The Umiam Lake in the past has been receiving waste from the city, but the quantity of waste was much lower, and the natural process of biological decomposition could easily take care of the waste. With an increase in quantity and a drastic change in its nature, this does not seem possible anymore. The water quality of the lake is showing deteriorating trends. The recorded coliform bacterial count of the lake water has been alarmingly high. The situation needs to be corrected. Otherwise, the condition of Umiam Lake may worsen to a point of no return. The lake may cease to be a tourist attraction. There will also be the possibility of large-scale eutrophication and pollution due to the constant addition of toxic chemicals in its water. The fish population may disappear altogether from the lake, and even if it does not, the fish will not be fit for consumption. If such trends continue to persist for too long, the total scenario will be gloomy. Municipal wastes in Shillong need to be collected, transported, and disposed properly and scientifically. As far as the non-point rural and agricultural sources of pollution are concerned, local inhabitants and farmers should be made aware of their responsibilities. The residents of the area should be told not to dispose of their wastes irresponsibly. Similarly, farmers should not make use of excessive fertilizers and apply pesticides only of plant origin. Farmers who cultivate along the hill slopes in the area need to adopt techniques that will protect the soil against erosion. The changes that need to be made are not mammoth tasks. As long as the municipality wakes up to the situation and the inhabitants act conscientiously. A multi-pronged strategy has to be adopted to restore the environment in and around Umiam Lake. Otherwise, this priceless gem may be lost forever.